Hello, my name again is Tony McGee, and again, I'm continuing my interview. I'm interviewing, different agents. Like I said, this meeting or these presentations are geared to new agents getting into business because a lot of the new agents getting in, they are going to what I call old school brokerage models, and there are new models out there. And my interview today, we're going to be with John Miller, and I'm going to introduce John Miller, and he will talk about himself, and then we'll go from there. And so, without further ado,
Recording in progress.
hello, Mr. John. How you doing?
Hi, Mr. Tony. How you doing today?
I am doing great. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. How was your day going?
Going pretty hectic, but good.
No?
Ratified a contract today.
Oh, congratulations. Congratulations.
Adrian and I put it together.
Oh,
Those
okay.
are a nice referral that you sent to us.
Oh, okay. Good to go. Good to go. I already talked and, kind of explained to the audience before you came on. Basically, these interviews are just geared to really to give information out to new agents getting into the business, and even some that's already in the business and they're about to give up. They about to, they talk about some of the new agents that get into business. They gone within a year because a lot of different things, and we're going to talk about that in the presentation. But tell us a little about yourself, John.
Well, I'm retired Navy. Spent 24 years active duty, 6 years in the Fleet Reserve, so 30 years total. Went immediately into real estate when I got out of the Navy. And it's been a real ride since I got started. That was 1984. I passed my test. Started working full time in 1985, January.
Okay.
And I ran into you, 25 years ago, possibly. And you were flipping houses and stuff like that. And you were still in the Army, but that's when I first met you. And then we kind of lost track of each other. I moved to Ohio for a while. My dad passed away. I just moved back down to Virginia in 2015 and ran into you again in 2019. You said, "Hey, John, you ought to get your license again. Get back into real estate." Because I lost my broker's license and my regular license when I moved to Ohio and didn't come back down here for about 13 years. I was out of real estate. So I said, "All right, Tony, show me this thing you're talking about, real estate, this thing in the clouds, in the sky, whatever they call it." And I said, "Okay, there's a lot of stuff here that I didn't grow up with. I'll tell you what, Tony, you do the transaction coordinating. I'll do the talking and meeting and running and driving and pointing and meeting people. And you got to meet the appraiser, you got to meet the termite inspector, you got to meet the insurance people sometimes. It's fun.
Yeah,
It's fun helping people."
it is. It is. Oh, yeah. So, John, I mean, you talked about how long you've been in real estate. What motivated you to get into real estate?
What motivated me to get into real estate? I'd been in the car business. I'd sold life insurance. So this was while I was still in the Navy. And I just decided, let me try real estate. I mean, just selling is just people and paper, different floors, different people.
Mm.
And when I was in the Navy, I worked in personnel. So I worked with people and paper. That's what I've been doing all my life.
So, did you know anything about real estate at all? I mean, before you
I
got,
lived in it. That's all I knew. I lived in real estate. I know it.
oh,
I lived in houses. I bought
oh.
houses.
But you didn't know how the brokerage setup and all that stuff was. You
Oh
just,
no,
mm,
no. I when I went through the school the first time in 1984, then I immediately looked for a place to go work in real estate. And there was a big company at that time called William E. Wood, which is now Howard Hannon.
okay.
And they signed me. They said, "Well, come work for us." I said, "Okay." So I think they gave me something like a 50-50 contract. They were providing all the signs and all the advertising and the old MLS books that some of these newer people don't understand what that is. It's just black and white print, big books with all the houses. So I stayed with that company and Up my second year in real estate, my first year in real estate, I listed 21 properties and I sold about 4 of those myself within less than 10 days. And the quickest one I ever sold was 10 minutes. I walked in with a fully written contract after I'd shown the house when it wasn't even on the market. And I was getting ready to put the house on the market. And so I said, "Are you sure this is what you want to sell it for, the price?" And she said, "Yeah, I do." I said, "Okay." So I got her to sign it. I reached down, pulled a briefcase, opened up, and there was another folder in there, had a full price offer
Oh, wow.
that she had just put it on the market for. So that was sold in about 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, you talked about your first brokerage being William E. Wood was changed over to Berkshire Hathaway.
No, it was Howard
Yeah,
Hanna.
Howard Hanna. Yeah, Howard Hanna.
Right.
So were there any other brokers you was a part of?
Well, while I was with William E. Wood, I got approached by Glenn Russell of Remax and asked me if I'd come take a look at what Remax is doing. He's getting ready to open up 3 new offices. So he took me on a flight to Denver, and I went through the Remax training for brokers. And then I came back, and he opened up an office downtown Norfolk on 21st Street here in Virginia. And I just, kept it open about 3 months. So I managed that for 3 months. And while I was with William E. Wood, I managed a kiosk in the mall, Military Circle Mall. And it's just meeting people.
Yeah,
That's all this business is about. No matter where you meet them.
yeah. So, so what brokerage you with now?
Well, and you got me to take my test again in 2019. You were with a company called EXP. It was not a cloud-based thing, which I didn't really understand. I didn't grow up in this stuff. And I said, "All right," but because I'd met you before and I liked you as a person and the way you handled your business, and I said, "Well, if I'm coming back in, it's going to be with you, Tony." And so I joined EXP. I was with them about 19 till 2022, 2019 to 2022. And then you decided you wanted to move. So you sent out a message to everybody. Some guy walking around the parking lot, Terry Trexler, he's getting ready to leave EXP, and I can't tell you why. But I says, "What? Did you see this?" And I sent it to you, and the next thing I knew, you saying, "Hey, I'm going to LPT." I said, "Okay, we'll go from EXP to LPT. We'll keep them. What is all this? Another cloud-based thing, right?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, we'll do that because I trust you." I said, "Just fill out my paperwork, Tony."
Well, now, as we talking, in this conversation, you brought up something that I think a lot of our new agents probably don't know. And that's why I say too, this video and the presentations are really just catering to them more to get them, information, knowledge, because again, they don't know. Most of them don't unless they're doing some research or, hanging around on YouTube or whatever. But you said cloud-based. And when you say cloud-based, you are referencing as something new versus something old. What are we referencing?
We're referencing, I had an office on Holland Road where I worked with William E. Wood. I had an office downtown Norfolk where I worked with the Remax. Also worked with their office out in Virginia Beach. I also worked with Cook and Neff downtown Norfolk. They're an old time firm, been down there for a long time. Used to be right across from the church that serves all the breakfasts in Norfolk. It's a well-known church. And now they're down the street where the old spaghetti house used to be. But they're all brick and mortar, basically, what these companies were. And some still are.
Mm-hmm.
And with the LPT, I'm sitting in my house right now, having my interview with you, and you're sitting in your house. And I didn't have to go to the office to get this interview. I don't have to go to the office. My office is my home.
Mm-hmm.
So there's lots of benefits to having your office be your home.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the old tradition, when I drove to the William E. Wood office or I drove to the Remax office and I drove home each night, that mileage didn't count for a tax mileage write-off. But now, when I back my car out of the garage and I go off to show property or go to a new construction site or I go to a title company, the mileage starts and doesn't stop till I come home. Put my car back in the garage. That's the big difference.
So, with the brick and mortar versus the cloud-based, did you, a lot of your cloud-based don't have a lot of fees and things. I mean, they might have a monthly fee or so, but they don't have a lot of the normal fees that were associated with some of your brokerages, and I say franchises too. But not only that, they you mentioned something when you first got on. You said, when you was with your company, they provided the signs and basically the advertisement and things like that. And I know some
The
of
offices and the heat and electric and everything else.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think that's what's the difference between the cloud-based and the brick and mortar. Just like you mentioned, you get in there, you get in your car, you drive out, and your mileage start. As when you go to your brick and mortar, it doesn't happen like that. And which is, again, we are in the Hampton Roads area, or some people call it Seven Cities or the Peninsula, whatever. And it's because we got a lot of water. We got what, two, three bridges that we have to deal with in our real estate business. And, being able to operate from home versus going to an office, because I'm gonna always go out there and meet my client, whether I do it in one of the seven cities or whatever, I'm always get in my car and go meet them. But the office part of it, because everything just went digital, DigiSign and things that we can do on the internet now, you don't have to go there. You don't need that brokerage. You still need a space, but you don't need that brokerage, and you don't need that space all the time. And that is kind of like the difference between the brick and mortar and the cloud-based. But at the same time, with the brick and mortar, a lot of the fees and things associated with that brokerage or the franchise fee, they put that cost off to the agent. So a lot of the agent's commission is being used to pay for that. As within your cloud-based, you're not doing that because they don't have a brokerage. They do have a brick and mortar, like the main office or something like that, but they don't have a brick and mortar where agents go to all the time. Most of all of our space is right here, what we call collaboration, virtual, Zoom, whatever. And we're talking together as though we were sitting right there. I mean, because even today, I think about since the cell phone came, you sit down and you go to a restaurant and you sitting with somebody, y'all ain't even communicating. Yet y'all in the same space, y'all all looking at your cell phones. And so once we get on Zoom, at least we know we're having a conversation or collaborating where we don't have to look at our phone. And even if we do, we know there's the interaction going on and there's eye-to-eye contact, as if I'm sitting in a restaurant with you or even sitting in a brick and mortar. What kind of conversation is happening that can't happen right here on Zoom or virtual or whatever? Because you see that a lot of the brick and mortar will say that the downside to the cloud base is, you don't get to interact with people, going to an office. But yeah, we do. I see your face. I see I see your chimney in your house, So that don't work no more, But at the same time, a lot of real estate is really now administrative, which can be done anywhere. And we also know when we went through COVID, we had a lot of sales that took place virtually. So that is not to me, that's not a con anymore. We operate the same way with the cloud base. It's just that we don't have a lot of fees associated with it. So we get to keep a bulk of our money. So I love the cloud base because even when I got in real estate in 94, I was working from home anyway. The company that I was associated with was over on the other side of the water, 40 minutes away or so. But, I just emailed the contract, but I met my clients in the area that I service. So it was no problem for me, And if I wanted to talk to somebody, I call them up. If we wanted to meet, we could do that too. So, but yeah, I always do that cloud-based and brick and mortar thing because times has changed. I was talking to one of the other our team members, and I was telling them how, we all woke up one day and next thing we know, we had to pay to turn our TV on. And whether we wanted to or not, it was there. You had a choice, but still it was there. And so now, the internet is here, cloud-based is here. Hey, it ain't going nowhere. It's here for now. It's here. It's the future. So with I'm going on and on, but still. So you mentioned that you was with a company called EXP. You followed me to EXP, and then you followed me to LPT. Um,
I'm not going anywhere else.
Yes, I think like I told somebody, this is it here. No more moving, no more changing. And I think it's because what LPT is doing. But if you had something to say, and you can say about LPT or anything, just talking to some of your new agents as well as seasoned agents, what would you be saying?
Well, the EXP, when I joined that company with you, they had a technology fee of $85 a month, and they gave us a smart number, but they didn't really give it to us. That cost us $25 a month, and then we had to pay some other person $29.99, whatever, to set up our EXP program. And now with LPT, there is no fee to join. We had to pay a joining fee also with EXP, like $150, something like that. It's just fee after fee after fee, as you were saying earlier, going on, even with the brick and mortar. Well, that was the cloud-based, my first experience with cloud-based. And because of you said you do the transaction and you lived up to your word, and that's another reason I respect you, and I'm not going to leave you. And until God takes me home, I'm not leaving you.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But and it's amazing because, like I said, EXP was, I was with 100% company when I was introduced to EXP. And again, I've been in real estate for about 25, 24 years or something like that. And again, and some people would call me an old man or whatever, stuff like that. And we look at our young people, as technology come. I mean, my 4-year-old granddaughter can use a cell phone. And the thing is, you too, as we age, we have to be able to use some of this stuff that's changing because it's there, whether we want to or not. We got cars that we drive that talk to us. We got cars, that do all kind of things now. You talk about the Tesla driving for you and things like that. So that stuff is not going away. It's here to stay. And when EXP came on, it introduced something new, which was the cloud base. They are the forerunner for this. I mean, really, they are. All the credit goes to them. They came with the revenue share, which they got from Keller Williams because Keller Williams did profit sharing, and EXP just basically, took that model but changed it because they had cloud base and say, hey, why are we gonna go out there and pay a manager or a recruiter when we can just pay the agent? And that's how they brought up revenue share. So now when an agent goes and introduce another agent to a company or whatever, the company gives them revenue share. And so that model, when I looked at it, was like, hey, I ain't going back from this. And it was that thing we used to say, when you see it, you can't unsee it. But I was saying I would never leave EXP. And even though I love my 100% model, I went to EXP for 80-20 with revenue share. And I was like, okay, this is it. Then way and behold, like you said, some guy out there running around talking about he's leaving EXP, blah, 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 blah. And I had said, well, let me see what it is because you had called me and told about it. So I'm looking on the internet to find out what it is. And all I seen was LPT. I didn't know what it was all about. I didn't know, but I seen one thing and it said 100%. I said, hey. So I sent all of y'all an email and said, guess y'all, I'm finna move. I'm finna move to this new company called LPT. And when I got there, it was like, I didn't make a mistake. I made the right choice. And that company just keeps on amazing me, the things that they keep doing. And it's kind of like their spirit runs with my spirit. Because even with the company that I was with 100%, I liked it too because their philosophy was, hey, this is your business. You're an independent agent. We don't want your commission, but we want to give you the opportunity to make all the money, run your business how you want. All you do is we charge you a cap of $2,400 back then. And when you meet that 2,400, you go to 100%. And when I joined EXP, they didn't have 100%. They had an 80/20. So, I went with that because of the cloud base and the revenue sharing. But then LPT came along and they brought the 100% and the 80/20 along with revenue share. And I was like, okay, you can't go nowhere. But then they had this thing called listing power tools. I seen that really got me because yes, I was moving because of the 100%, but I had a team that I developed over there at EXP. And again, I care about my team, especially some of them that would do agents. And you go out there and tell them, hey, y'all, you need to market, you need to market, you need to market because that's the only way you're gonna get business. And I know some of them didn't have the money to pay for that marketing, but all of a sudden you go to LPT and they give you this marketing free. Only thing you pay for is the shipping and handling. And I just say, hey, y'all, here it is, And
It's
so,
high quality, high
like
quality.
high quality. It ain't like what we had in EXP. EXP had, you go in there, you can fix it up, but then you have to print it out somewhere. LPT prints it out and delivers it to my door. And I was like, wow. And so when I looked at that, I was like, and that was it. But then they just kept adding on and adding it on. And their thing was agent choice. And when they said agent choice, that's what they meant. They are out here to become the number one brokerage, not just the number one brokerage, but the number one brokerage for all agents. The things they're doing, it just amazes me. And again, that's the way real estate was supposed to be. We're all independent contractors. And when I join a brokerage, they're supposed to be there to support me, not support me in the sense of making your pockets bigger or making your brand look good, but you're there supposed to be supporting me, whether it be with the training, your support, or advertising, whatever. That's the way you started off. But then as time went, you weren't doing that no more. You was putting more cost on me, making me pay for the bulk of it. And I understand you got to put out money to make money. But again, you started it. You the one that gave me the signs. You the one that gave me this. Why did you stop doing it? But you didn't really stop. You just made me pay more. So, so the splits changed and stuff like that. So, but that's what I like about ELPT. You got 100% commission, or you can do an 80/20 with the revenue share because Mr. Palmer looked and he said, that's what agents want. And anything out there and I was just telling this in one of these real estate groups, anything out there that you reveal your hand and show, and LPT see it, and agents like it, and that's what they really want. I mean, if it's really something that will help us grow our business, he's gonna go get it, and it's part of our tongue. And and like he said, he's not gonna do like the other company did. He's not leaving no doors open. He said, as we go into the future, it would never be said another company outdid us. We're gonna always be in the forefront. And when he said it, he wasn't saying it in the sense of LPT. He was saying it in the sense of making sure that the agents and LPT will always be ahead. They will always be ahead because we're going to give them everything they need. Everything.
Well, a couple of things for first time people coming into the real estate business. You kind of mentioned it, but I want to point them out again. There's the 80-20%. I told you when I first started with William Wood, I was at 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have any franchise fees because it wasn't a franchise. It was a privately owned company by Bill Wood, which passed away. He's a great man. But that one and the no fees, and I finally broke down. I know where the cloud's at. I'm looking at it. It's on my computer. It's not up there in the sky. And along with yourself, and now, of course, I've been doing some work with Adrian Pinckney. He's my transaction coordinator because you're getting busier and busier with the size of your team growing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when I was we just did that contract, put it under contract today with his help doing the paperwork, and both of us running back and forth and here and there. And we did that. That deal came together in 11 days from the time we signed a buyer representation agreement because of teamwork.
Yeah, teamwork.
That's the only reason it happened that quick.
Yeah. Teamwork.
So a first-time realtor, you have the opportunity for an 80-20 contract.
Yeah.
Or if you feel strong enough and want, and if you don't like that, you can convert to the 100%, but only once a year. You can't just go flip flop back and forth every other week. But it gives you that option.
Yeah.
So now they do have, as you know, Tony, the LPT Plus, LPT Connect Plus, because you're on that, and they offer it for the 80/20, and they offer it for the 100% contracts. And for that, people choose to pay a monthly fee because they get a lot of benefit. And I'll let you explain that if you want to take some of that and run with it.
Yeah, it's just that LPT, we're always a company that you can join without no fees and no monthly fees. It's just at the same time, some of the systems that we go out and get, like, all the different management tools, there's different management tools that you can use. One of them being SkySlope, and then they got another management tool that they use, and everybody got different ones. And then you got different CRMs. And LPT just decided, hey, go get all the different CRMs that everybody's using out there. We're gonna go get all the different management systems that people, we're gonna bring them to the company. And they're gonna be there if you want them. Okay. But if you want to add them to your business or whatever, you can do that and it'll cost you a monthly fee. But if you don't want to, don't. But whenever you're ready to do it, you can, and you can cancel at any time too, So it's agent choice, And so when you look at things like that, you have to look at it from the point that you're running a business. And in some states, you have to be a salesperson before you can become a broker. And I say that because a lot of agents get into business and they want to accelerate to that place where they become a broker because they're in charge per se. And when they're in charge, guess what happens? They mean that they get splits from you. LPT adopted the 80/20 revenue share from EXP, and because agents like it. And so it's the same thing. It's kind of like every agent in LPT being a broker. And as you sponsor agents into the company, every time they make a sale, you get a revenue from that. It comes from the company, but it comes from those that you brought. So it's kind of like saying that you got many brokers inside of a brokerage, really. That's basically what it is. And so, and which is an awesome concept because as real estate agents, we work together anyway. We co-broke with different deals and whatever, and we all get paid from one another. If I got a listing, you get paid because you bought a buyer, or vice versa. And so real estate is like that now. And that's what, if I was to put a revenue share, that's kind of like what it is. Some of them people use it as another means to go out there and just recruit. And LPT don't mind the recruiting, but they're about real estate first. We are here to sell houses. We are here to help our clients navigate through this real estate industry and buying and selling homes. That's the purpose, not recruiting, but that avenue is there to do that. And so with LPT and all the systems they done, they didn't do it for LPT. They doing it for the agents all over the world that want to align themselves with us, knowing that, hey, it ain't about LPT. Because if you look at the LPT logo, it's a circle. And as our founder says, we are just the dot behind your name or your brand. It can be small as you want it to make it be, or you can make it big. It's up to you. But we are promoting you, not LPT. So with that, if you have any questions, you can contact me. You can contact John. John, give him your information.
John Miller. My phone number is 757-570-6627 in the state of Virginia. Actually, it's the Commonwealth of Virginia.
And again, my name is Tony McGee, and I too am in the state of Virginia. And my number is 757-329-3036. Me or John can be reached at any time. Any questions? If you just want to have a question and answer with us about this brokerage, feel free to give us a call at any time. We'd love to hear from you and to help you, even if you're not a part of this company. Hey, I'll reach out and help you. I had a deal I was doing with an agent, and I had to tell her something because what she did was when she called me, she told me, I was asking her about the PICRA. That's what it was. It was about the PICRA. And she said, well, I'm waiting on my buyer because she's having her family members look it over. And I said, oh, don't never tell anybody that. Never tell anybody that. Okay. That's not for me to know. That's not for you to tell anybody, you know. And again, I was just helping her out. I wasn't, saying this is a new agent or whatever. I was just helping her out, And that's what I feel that in this business we are supposed to do. We're all real estate agents, we are realtors, and we work together. We help our clients negotiate, and at the same time, we keep our feelings out of the deal. We're here to serve them, and that's a good send off because, again, my name is Tony McGee. I run a team called the Servant Heart Group, and we are looking for team members. You can join us. We're here to help you. Okay, we cover from Virginia all the way to Northern Virginia. We got other agents in different states. No matter where you at, we can help you out. You can join us. LPT is opened up in all the United States and some provinces of Canada and overseas. So again, we look forward to hearing from you. If you got anything, just leave a message in the note and we'll get in contact with you.
And between Tony and myself, we have over 50 years of experience. We didn't just step off the boat.
Yes, I've been doing the business for 30 years, and John got me by another, how many, John?
Plus 7, maybe.
So that's it. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Tony.
Look forward to seeing you tomorrow because we got a Christmas party to attend.
That's true.
But again, this is Tony
Beach.
Yeah, but this is Tony McGee with the Servant Heart Group, signing off and thanking you, and have a blessed day, a God blessed day.
Be blessed.